Tourism Bureau and Locked and Loaded in Pana.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome into the WTIM, your information station. This is the WTIM Morning Show. My name is Tim Zalabak. Thank you so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where we put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. You always do better at Landmark. I have Kelsey Bentledge in my studio today. She's a registered dietitian and a nutrition educator for the St. Louis Dairy Council. How are you today, Miss Bentledge?
I'm doing awesome. How are you, Tim?
I'm super well. Thank you so much for asking, and thank you so much for being in here. Got a busy month as school season is continuing to roll on by, and we're talking family lunches, dinners today. We're talking family meals because it really always benefits to eat with the family and nutritionally wise as well. So you can take it from here.
Yes, family meals is kind of our focus this month because over the past 20 years, research has really confirmed what parents have known for a really long time, that sharing those family meals is good for the spirit, it's good for the brain, and it's good for the health of all family members. Those recent studies have really linked regular family dinners with behaviors that parents really hope for, like lower rates of substance abuse, teen pregnancy, depression, as well as higher grade point averages and self-esteem. So a lot can come from just eating together. It seems like such a simple fix to all these really big problems, doesn't it?
It totally does, yeah.
So research is really suggesting that when families sit down and eat together, that there's this strong bond that's created, and everyone's so busy. They live really disconnected lives. So it's just an opportunity to bring everyone back together and talk about your day and all of that as well. And not to mention saving a lot of money too. Food expenses are through the roof, as many of you know. So it's a great way to, if you're eating at home, you're saving a ton of money too.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense there. A lot of good points there. We're not even talking nutrition yet. This is good emotionally, mentally for families. And I feel like it has been a lost thing here. A lot of families just, they're overwhelmed with activities. I feel like growing up when I was younger, family dinners were a lot easier to come by. And as we got older, as things got busier, those start to fade.
Yes, people are so busy. There's so many extracurricular activities that go on. And especially now that school's back in session, there's just people are all over the place. And it's just so important to come back together and make an effort to really spend that time together.
Yeah, without a doubt. So bringing the family together, it's going to be good as a family unit for one, but nutritionally wise, I mean, do families eating at home, they're going to have healthier diets? They're not eating out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to have healthier diets. And, being from the Dairy Council, this is a great opportunity to get extra dairy foods into your diet. We need 3 servings of dairy every single day to reach our calcium needs, as well as a wealth of other nutrients that are in dairy products. But those families that are cooking at home, they're not eating those fast food meals. They're not getting the soda at the restaurant. And it really is a good opportunity to show kids and teens how to eat at home, how to cook at home, what are healthy foods, getting them used to fruits and vegetables and dairy foods and whole grains and all of that at home. So not only are you eating healthier, but you're setting them up for success in the future too.
Yeah, totally. I remember growing up, mom would try something new with family dinner, right? Maybe try something a little bit healthier. Mom, what is this? But that gives a good opportunity for parents to try different ingredients and different foods out. So that's really, really cool. So, yeah. I mean, I'm sure families would start to see health benefits throughout their family if they do this. I mean, you're not having all the additives that fast food places have. We've talked about, eating at home, those fresher ingredients. You see all of that. So it's benefiting whole families.
Less fat, less salts, less of all the things that we don't need extra in our diets. Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, great. So yeah, you're going to keep going with that.
Yeah. So some of the short-term benefits that you might see with eating meals at home is that your kids will learn to cook, and that will in turn get them excited about food. So, if you might have a picky eater at home, if you let them do the cooking and get them excited about the food that they're making, they might be more willing to try something new. So that's a really good opportunity with cooking at home. Also, positive cooking and meal experiences can just help build self-confidence around food for those kids, and they might start trying it outside the home, maybe at school in front of their friends, talking to their friends about trying new foods. So it just really helps out in a multitude of different ways.
Sure. Those short-term benefits are very cool there. I didn't even think about that a kid will see their mom cooking every night, dad cooking every single night. And hey, now I have an idea of what we can cook. Now I can maybe try myself. Or for those picky eaters, maybe you can get your request in, and then it's your own fault if you don't like the meal there. You're a picky eater. So that's very cool.
Exactly.
Some short-term benefits right there. What about long-term health benefits for families? What are we looking at?
So with the long-term benefits, I mentioned earlier, you're kind of setting them up for success in the future. So they're learning how to cook. That means they're going to take that into their adulthood and seeing those balanced meals at home. Kids who learn to eat well might be more likely to eat healthfully as adults and have that positive cooking and meal experiences. And then also just making sure that they're getting in all the food groups, our fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and of course, getting our 2 to 3 servings of dairy in every single day. And they can do that with those home meals, whether it's just a glass of milk with their dinner, or adding cheese to the broccoli, or having it in the soup or something like that as well. So lots of opportunities to make sure they're getting a really balanced diet with all of the food groups that they need.
Sure. Milk with dinner is something that I was not aware of, but that's more of a common thing than I had thought. People like their milk with dinner.
That might be like a Midwest thing. But I always grew up drinking milk with my dinner, breakfast, of course, as well. And then you get school lunch milk. I love a good glass of milk with my meals, but there are so many other ways to get dairy into your diet too. It doesn't just have to be, if you're not a milk with dinner kind of person, it could be the cheese on the broccoli that we just talked about. So there's lots of different ways to sneak in those healthy dairy foods and get in lots of good calcium and protein and nutrition as well.
Sure. Dairy is not the biggest food group that you think of when it comes to dinner time, but I mean, you forget about, cheeses and different types of creams that have those, obviously dairy products in them. So that's very, very exciting. There's some really amazing health facts that come with dairy. So what are those adding to someone's nutrition?
Yeah, there's a ton of things that dairy adds to the diet. So first of all, dairy is a great source of protein. That milk has about 8 grams. There are Greek yogurts that have up to 22 grams of protein in them, which a lot of people are like, well, what does grams mean to me? For an average man, 55 grams is what you need in a day. So a yogurt having 22 grams, that's a lot of protein right there. That's almost half of your daily needs of protein. So there's the calcium, the protein, and then there are a multitude of other vitamins and minerals, including vitamin D, the B vitamins, which give you energy. The list goes on and on. There's 13 essential nutrients in milk. So making sure that you're getting those into your diet throughout the day can kind of make sure that your nutritional status is staying at tip-top shape.
That's really amazing. A couple of these vitamins and positive additives. I can't even pronounce them, so that means they're probably good to get in your diet. The riboflavin, the niacin,
all of these things that they're really important to our diet, but instead of worrying about the riboflavin and niacin and all these little nutrients, you can just say, okay, well, I'm going to get my 3 servings of dairy in every day, and I know I'm covered on those things. Yeah. So
that's good to know. You don't got to go taking an extra supplement to get that. Dairy will cover quite a few of them, so that's very important.
Exactly.
There. And we talked about picky eaters. We talked about adding in cheese to your dairy into your dinner there, but it just adds a lot. I mean, you could be eating a meal right there. This needs something. It needs something else. It's usually something a little sprinkle of cheese or something. So you do see that added into a lot of meals for dinner.
Yes, yeah, and there are so many people who are picky. We talked about picky eaters for kids, but adults are too. And the great thing about dairy products is there's so many products out there on the market. Even just in the yogurt aisle, there's Greek regular, there's Icelandic now and French and all sorts of things in the dairy aisle. There's over 300 varieties of cheese in the US. There's a ton of, we have whole milk 2%, but an array of flavors too, coming out with seasonal flavors now too. So there's so many ways that you can sneak it into the diet, whether it's slicing it putting it on a sandwich, adding it on top of your vegetables, doing a smoothie with milk or yogurt is a great way to get dairy into your diet, and an on-the-go option since we are so busy right now with the school year in session. And then just getting excited about your presentation of food, especially with the kiddos, can go a long way. Maybe getting out a cookie cutter and making a grilled cheese sandwich in a special shape that alone could get a kid excited about their meals. So there's lots of different ways that you can sneak those dairy foods into your diet and make it fun and make it delicious for your kiddos as well.
Totally. That'll be a fun way to get the family together for one and have everyone finish their plate at the very end of the meal, which is what you'll really want. Kelsey, we're about to get ready to go on our first break here, but where can people go for more information?
Head to our website at www.stldairycouncil.org, or we post a ton of information on our social medias as well. And the handle for that is at STL Dairy Council.
Perfect. All right. We're going to take our first short little break here. I'm sitting down with Kelsey Bentledge right now. She is a registered dietitian and a nutrition educator for the St. Louis Dairy Council. We thank our sponsors of the morning show, People's Bank and Trust. You always are Landmark of Taylorville. You always do better at Landmark and People's Bank and Trust, where we put people first. My name is Tim Zalabak. You're listening to the WTIM morning show.
Your information station, WTIM.
This is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. Are you looking for a great CD rate? If you are, TCCU has just what you are looking for. We are currently offering a 7-month share certificate special with an annual percentage yield of 4.35% and a minimum deposit of $1,000. This great rate is for a limited time. For more information, please contact us at any of our convenient locations or online at tccu.org. Dividends will be compounded monthly. A penalty for early withdrawal may be imposed. Fees could reduce earnings on the account. Member NCUA.
If you're looking for the latest in local hunting and fishing information, then join us for Central Illinois Outdoors with me, Jared White, Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. and Sundays at 7 a.m. here on WTIM. Every weekend, we'll offer detailed Central Illinois fishing reports from professional guides. We'll swap stories with local celebrity sportsmen, and I'll invite you to share your favorite stories as well. Central Illinois Outdoors with Jared White every weekend on all WTIM platforms and on demand at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. Brought to you by Bob Ridings in Pena, the Clinton, Illinois Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Bureau, and Locked and Loaded in Pena.
The cold winds of winter will be here before we know it. With it comes wind chills, snow, and weather-related injuries. Now's the time to check out the fun and socialization you can have at Taylorville Estates Assisted Living. Have your own private apartment and enjoy 3 home-cooked meals a day. Try them for the winter, and if you don't like it, go home. Visit Administrator Tony Clark at 824-2222. That's 824-2222. Taylorville Estates Assisted Living, encouraging independence, enriching lives.
It's the time of year when the whole family is involved in lots of activities, from sports and family outings. That's why you need the nutrition farmer-owned Prairie Farms dairy products give you. Enjoy Prairie Farms lactose-free milk, including whole, 2%, chocolate, and skim with calcium added. And how about Prairie Farms dairy low-fat and no-fat cottage cheese? Or Prairie Farms yogurt for that snack or salad. Give your body what it needs in vitamins, minerals, and taste with farmer-owned Prairie Farms dairy products.
Hi everyone, Brandon Bible here, your local country financial representative at 1305 West Fresser in Taylorville. Myself, along with my wife Samantha and our assistant Nicole Patrick, are proud to recognize the Tornado student athletes that represent our community by being the exclusive sponsor of WTIM Brandon Bible Country Financial Player of the Game during Tornado sports broadcast this school year. WTIM announcers will select a player at the end of each game who will receive a certificate for being named our Player of the Game. Good luck to all teams this season, and go Tornadoes!
Hi, this is Carrie Ostwick, financial advisor with Edward Jones, located at 601 North Webster Street in Taylorville. To find out all the services we provide, click our icon on the obituaries page of TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
I'm Kim Bourne, CEO of Taylorville Memorial Hospital, and we're hiring experienced nurses to join our great team. Learn more by clicking on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM morning show. My name is Tim Zalabak, sitting down with Kelsey Bentledge this morning. She is a registered dietitian and a nutrition educator for the St. Louis Dairy Council. Thank you so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where we put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. You always do better at Landmark. Ms. Bentledge, once again, thank you so much for taking the time being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. That first half, we talked about bringing families together for family dinner. It's good not only for the family unit, mentally and emotionally, it's also good for nutritional reasons. You eat a lot fresher, you eat a lot healthier. And anything else to say on eating with family dinners?
Yeah, just having that opportunity to get back together with as a family is so huge for the kiddos especially, but it doesn't have to be difficult. So we're going to talk a little bit about a recipe that might be an easy addition to your rotation of family recipes that you're making in the evening. And yeah, cooking at home, it doesn't have to be hard. I know it sounds daunting and scary, especially if you don't like to cook, but we can simplify it a little bit in some ways.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, obviously the fast food option is always there, but you got to break that cycle at some point. I've fallen into that cycle, but preparing food at home, there's an intrinsic value to that food. Now I made it, and it also tastes very good. So we're looking at Tuscan chicken mac and cheese. This is a great idea for any family looking to eat together. Take us through it.
Yeah, so like I said, family meals, they don't have to be difficult. This Tuscan chicken mac and cheese is a one pot dinner recipe, which I personally love because I hate doing dishes. So keeping it to one pot is minimizes the cleanup, and it has very simple ingredients that can help ensure your family is getting a lot of nutrition from the dairy, protein, whole grains, and vegetables found in this recipe. So it is made with boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and then it has an array of seasonings that are added to it. Sun-dried tomatoes, spinach, those are your vegetables that are getting added to it. You can get a whole grain macaroni noodle so that you're getting whole grains in with your meal too. And then you're getting multiple different cheeses and milk in with the recipe too. So you're getting a good serving of dairy there as well. So it hits all of the food groups in one pot, and it's one pot of mess. And it only takes about 30 minutes to make. So for those busy nights, that is so crucial. So that recipe is found on our website at stldairycouncil.org, as well as a ton of other recipes. So if you're really in a rut with your family meals and you need something new, try out this new Tuscan chicken mac and cheese recipe or any of the other recipes that we have on our website as well.
Sure, it sounds delicious. You're definitely going to want to check out the link to see the whole ingredients list here. There are a few here. It looks a little daunting, but it's not too much of everything. And I really love the part where it's all one pot, right? I mean, there's a point where you're cooking where you got 3 different things out on the stove. I'm looking down, and now I turned into Gordon Ramsay. Now this is burning on me. This is overboiling. So it's good to have one pot going. That's a big deal right here. Do you guys try to keep it that easy on the cooks?
We typically try to keep it pretty simple with our recipes and pretty like user friendly in the sense that it's something that everyone will like with our recipes. So another great thing about this recipe too is you could always double it and freeze half of it so that you don't have to make dinner one night. You could throw that in the freezer and then bake it and get it warmed up that way. So that's another little tidbit of advice as well. I love to do that, especially my husband's a farmer, so this time of year is very, very busy. So I love to make doubles of all recipes and throw it in the freezer for a night that's a little bit tougher to get food on the table.
Yeah, seems like this would keep pretty well in the freezer there. So very good. And keep it for a later date as well. Anything else on the Tuscan chicken mac and cheese recipe? It sounds delicious.
It is delicious. I tried it myself and I froze half of it like I just suggested, and that went well too. So it is a great recipe to keep on hand. And it's really a crowd pleaser. Everybody seems to love it.
When it comes to freezing these extra portions, do you go gallon bag? Do you go a full Tupperware? What do you do? What's best?
Usually I use those casserole tins, and then add a little bit of cheese to the top so that when I bake it, kind of like melts on the top. Extra cheese, I love cheese. I'm from the Dairy Council. So yes, but that seems to be the best way to kind of warm it up. And then I just pop it back in the oven until it bubbles. So
veteran move right there with the cheese. I would never have thought of that, but amazing. You can cook it back twice and it'll be just as good, maybe even better. So that's really awesome. You guys got a brand new recipe there for you. You can find it where?
At stldairycouncil.org.
Beautiful. We're just about out of time. Oh, just real quick, what has the St. Louis Dairy Council been doing in schools this year?
Well, we are always busy in schools. One thing we have going on right now is our Dollars for Dairy grants are starting up in our schools. This is a grant where we provide school cafeterias with funds so that they can start some new fun dairy grants. So a few of the ones that I have going on are coffee bars in high schools, smoothies for kiddos in elementary schools, a ton of really cool grants going on there. And then the other thing we've been really busy doing is our mobile dairy classroom, which is literally what it sounds like. There is a cow in a trailer that goes from school to school educating kids on the power of dairy. And she gets milked. Her name is Louise. She gets milked in front of the students. So if you have a teacher friend or know anybody in schools that would be interested in that, head to our website to get signed up.
Awesome. Ms. Benchledge, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. That's Kelsey Benchledge, a registered dietitian and a nutrition educator for the St. Louis Dairy Council. We really thank her for being here on the WTIM Morning Show.
Your information station, WTIM.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.9 W300 EH Payne and Nokomis.
I'm Rich Thomason. The latest GOP presidential primary debate, it's on for tonight. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports from the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in Simi.